Hello everyone, and welcome to Session 3 of Cyberpunk Red Specters, a Cyberpunk Red actual play set in the world of Cyberpunk 2077. My name is ELH the Game Master, and joining me are two lovely individuals who are playing our buddy cop for the evening. Now, before I let them introduce themselves, just a quick few announcements. The first thing is that this coming Tuesday, October 25th, is going to be a very special 12-hour birthday stream starting at 3 p.m. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, or if you just want to see me lose my mind both in role-playing and in video gaming, would definitely recommend coming to check that out. Again, it starts at 3 p.m. and will probably go to at least 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, would recommend checking that out if you've got the time to do so. What else? Part of next week will also be that it is all Halloween themed. So everything, including the next week's session of Cyberpunk Red, assuming we get through the mission tonight in one session, all of it's going to be Halloween themed. All of it's going to be spooky. So again, if you're interested in horror, you're interested in that sort of experience, definitely recommend checking things out. But, I think that's about all I have to say. The top streams. Let's do introductions and get started. So, Annex, what about you? What's going on with you?
Hey, I'm Anix or Zach. I'm going to be playing Henry Fairclough. He is a former NCPD officer turned full board conversion. He is a Dragoon Mark III. After a tragic accident happening with his family, he signed up for MAXTAC and underwent the augmentation.
Nice. Love it. And, Azu, what do you got going on?
Hey, I'm Azul. I'm playing Kane, a Jiminy conversion, and to cut a long story short, she lives for the thrill of combat.
All right, very nice. And let's run that intro video and get started proper. We start today's session with an AV screaming away from the city center towards the southeast of Night City. And the AV is one of our typical MAXTAC, where it is designed for speed and efficiency, as well as sirens, which really don't do much in the air, but, it's MAXTAC. You got to make sure everybody knows you're coming. And as the MAXTAC screams across Night City skies, we zoom in and go into the AV, where we see Fairclough and Kaine, or Kane. Is it Kaine or Kane? I always mix it up.
It's Kane.
Kane. Where we see Kane sort of sitting there as a holo display of Chief Drake is going over the situation. And stream, I'm going to do my best to show you guys the map as it happens. But it is a very large map, and if any of you need me to move it, just kind of give me a poke in chat. But you players, you guys all have access to this map. It is being fed you via your neural links, and Chief Drake goes on to explain. Approximately 15 minutes ago, a Edgerunner team broke into the Biotechnica Hotel and took over the 24th floor, which is one of their little corpo retreats where they can do work close to home, as it were. We've identified approximately 8 individuals of note, and we have identified at least 11 hostages that are currently being held at various locations within the 24th floor. And for those of you on the map, I will begin zooming in and highlighting. So the first area over here to the south of where the elevators are, there is kind of a large open workshop or large open kind of workbench situation where there's 8 hostages and what look to be 2 sort of Edgerunner mooks holding assault rifles. We also see that across the hallway to the east, there is a executive's office where 3 hostages are being stored. And then we also have view kind of to the southeast of a bunch of server racks and a bunch of other databases where some net running activity is taking place. Now, we're going to actually go back to the executive office for a little bit to focus on someone, because part of the camera feed that you're being fed, Kane, you recognize the individual who is in the hallway guarding the executive office, and it is none other than Alejandro. And the way I've sort of flavored him is he's kind of a well-built gentleman, looks more like a linebacker than anything else. He has kind of mid-length black and white hair, kind of stylized to look like it's a crop top, but not quite. He has a very well-defined Fu Manchu kind of thing going on. And he also just kind of looks like a jolly old guy. In fact, he looks severely out of place, all things considered. But what you would both note, even if Fairclough has no idea who this person is, you would both note that Alejandro is carrying a Militech Aegis, or one of those EMP-style assault rifles that doesn't actually have a lethal setting, as far as I'm aware. So just wanted to point that out. And then in the executive office, where you see that sort of GT token, Kane, you recognize that person. You recognize that gentleman, because that is none other than Gordon Tao. Now, of course, I'm going to let you explain maybe who that is in character, but I did want to point that out just so that you know. And then finally, before I open the floor to all of you, is in the netrunning area down here in the server room, you would recognize Stefan Litavak, who is presumably the netrunner of the operation, given where they are and what they're doing. But at this point, I'm going to let you guys ask questions of Chief Drake, and any questions you have of me, of the Game Master, before we actually arrive proper on this map.
I have a quick question. Does Drake and MAXTAC know about Kane's history with these people?
I would say that they would, but they're not going to bring it up before you do.
Okay, gotcha. Kane's gonna look thoughtful. Maybe her brows furrow a bit, which is a lot more emotion than you normally see from her. Well, this is a hell of a coincidence.
What seems to be the matter, Kane?
I recognize 3 of these people from my past life.
Oh, does that explain why you don't have that excited look on your face as usual when we are sent out?
Well, I'm rarely excited on hostage missions. They tend to require a lot more caution than I tend to prefer.
Is this going to be an issue? Can you still...
Oh yeah. Have they... Are we aware of what their objectives are? Have they released any sort of demands?
Chief Drake kind of furrows her brow a little bit and says, that's the funny thing. As far as we're able to tell, they've not issued any demands. They've not taken any steps to harm the hostages. In fact, some people are speculating that the hostages are just sort of a tool to make sure the area is locked down until they're finished. But what it is they're trying to finish is unknown at the moment. Of course, we have a certain netrunner, Hell, working on trying to break in from the outside, but apparently the 24th floor is one of those closed system areas where there's actually no hardline connection in or out of the building when it comes to the systems there.
Would we be able to remotely provide her a hardline connection?
If you can hook something up to the security system, maybe, but at the moment, this camera grab was the best we could manage given the time constraints.
I notice Alejandro isn't armed with lethal weaponry. How about the rest?
Well, it looks like the other edge runners are all armed with either assault rifles or shotguns. Stefan is wielding what looks to be a exotic heavy pistol. Can't really make out the make of it, but it does seem to be a relic of a certain time. And if either of you, just to get the nerves out of the way, if either of you would care to roll me just a basic education, I can maybe tell you what pistol he's using.
Would a streetwise work in this case?
I'd give you a streetwise as well.
Perfect.
And it looks like we've got a 20 from Kane, and let's see. More than enough, I think. Yeah, it's more than enough. And a 16, yep, that'll work. So you would both recognize this as a Nova Model 757 City Hunter. And if you don't know what that is out of character, in character, what you would know is that this is one of the premier exotic heavy pistols that has built-in smart ammunition. But you would also know that from the looks of the City Hunter, based on what you're seeing in the camera feed, that it doesn't just fire smart ammunition, it fires EMP ammunition.
It almost looks like they're prepped for expecting us. As in a full Borg unit. We've got both of the heavy hitters have, well, heavy. I call Stepan a heavy hitter lightly, but he is a netrunner. They seem to be armed against us. Are you EMP shielded, Fairclough?
That's quite expensive for my make.
Neither am I, so we're gonna have to be a bit more cautious than usual. Do we have any alternate points of egress aside from the front doors, the elevator, maybe in this supply closet down near the server room?
Yeah, in fact, let me zoom around and start pointing out things. So yes, let me use the ruler tool so we can see what's going on. So that server, or the closet next to the server room that you indicated, there is actually a service elevator you could enter in through, kind of towards the bottom of the map. And then if you wanted to come in through the main entrance, that's where I've kind of got your tokens at the moment, kind of those multiple windows and elevators that rise to the 24th floor. To the very east, where we see kind of a laboratory / workbench area, you could technically come in through one of the windows against the wall there. It kind of looks like like this on the map, it looks like a screen of some sort, but I'm flavoring that as a window.
Mm-hmm.
And then same sort of situation down here, 2 floors below, or 2 rooms below that, where you kind of see that. Yeah, you got it. That circled area. That's another set of windows you could come out in through. And then if you, for some reason, wanted to go through the air ducts, the server room is equipped with a separate HVAC unit that is fed through the roof, several floors above the server room. So technically you could come in through the HVAC units here as well.
Yep. Gotcha. That HVAC looks promising, but there's no way in hell we're going to fit Fairclough through there, is there?
I don't know. Fairclough, did you bring any of your bowling oil with you?
I'm less concerned about your size and more concerned about your big stompy noises. We could approach from 2 directions. I think it would be smart to get rid of Stepan, our netrunner, first. If they're keeping an eye on cameras, as far as we know, as soon as they set eyes on us, they're going to start executing hostages. We don't know their game plan, so we'd best consider worst case scenario. Are you able to get through? Oh, go ahead.
Go on.
I was just going to ask, would it be possible for Fairclough to get through these windows quietly, or are these basically all dynamic entries?
I mean, I'll have you roll. If you definitely want to be stealthy, we can make it a roll, but I'm thinking probably dynamic entry.
All right.
Do you think you could get, Kane, do you think you could sneak in there, establish a link with the server? Maybe there's some, we could get hell in the network. Maybe we can bring some defenses online and turn them against our would-be hostage takers.
That's possible. We don't see any terrorists in the room with these 3 hostages, correct?
Correct, yeah, and let me actually point out some more areas here. So, turret number 1 is located right here. It's already on the map, as you probably can tell. It is, yeah, this turret right there. There's also drop-down turrets far to the southwest that kind of overlook this hallway here and the hallway leading to that closet entrance that you pointed out earlier. Mm-hmm. There's also one in reception, and their final one is, where did I put? There it is. The final one is actually in the server room, quote unquote, next to where Stefan is currently linked in.
Oh, what activates these turrets? Are these like motion sensors? Are they like laser?
I would say a little combination of motion and laser.
Netrunner could probably trip them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would stepping in the room being enough to trigger them, do we know? Or is it like a more specific... Like, would you be able to avoid them?
I would say it is possible to avoid them, but without a netrunner deliberately turning them off, you kind of have to do that thing that happens in 2770, where you're waiting for that camera beam to pass and you run through, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Are there any... There's no turrets in this executive room. Are there any potential, like, gas vents or anything like that that could be used to gas the civilians?
Let me look at my notes here. Yes, actually. So I'm not going to point all of them out on the map, but if you did want to pump in some form of sleeping gas or knockout agent or whatever, you could introduce we'll call it a neurotoxin, via the building's main HVAC unit, which is also on the roof. The only thing I would tell you is that, again, the server room has its own separate HVAC unit. So you would conceivably hit every single person on the map except for whomever's in the server room.
Okay. But that would theoretically hit... Do the edge runners clearly have gas masks or anything like that?
It doesn't appear that they do, actually.
We don't have a cybernetic reading on them, though.
Yeah, do we have a cybernetic, like, histories of any of these members? And would Kane know, in fact, from their previous history, what kind of cyberware these guys might have?
You would know at least for Alejandro. Stefan, he was a net runner, so he didn't really go for the whole Chrome thing. But Alejandro actually is very similar to you, Kane, in that he looks normal-ish. But if you look carefully, you can tell that he is sporting quite a lot of chrome. He has not just a set of gorilla arms or big knucks, however you'd like to flavor it, but he also is roughly about 70 to 80% metal at this point.
Okay. I'm beginning to put a plan together. Do you have nasal filters, Fairclough?
Nasal filters? He'll kind of like turn and like look at you with his fully like chromed head.
Never know, you might have a standard oxygen supply reliance. I just want to make sure that you're not going to pass out if we flood these rooms.
Game Master?
Yes.
I have that. I don't need... I have that covered, right?
You have that covered, yes. Both of you technically have it covered.
Okay.
Fairclough will point out that we can't we can't use an extensive amount of gas, as it will basically asphyxiate everybody if we use it for too long, and that would risk hurting the hostages.
Even knockout gas, sleeping gas, tear gas, something like that.
If you use it for too long, it can.
Okay. And is that, you agree with that, Game Master?
I would agree with that, yep.
Okay. Do you know roughly how long we'd be able to pump it in safely?
You want to make a roll of it.
What roll would that be?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Because is there chemistry? I want to say there's something close to chemistry. Where
I feel like it would definitely be under education skills. Maybe just education? Science?
I'm
maybe?
just pulling this from
science.
Fairclough's background as a NCPD.
Yeah, okay, so Fairclough, I'm gonna actually give you a +2 bonus on either tactics or science in your aspect.
All right, tactics it is.
Remember just to put in that +2 bonus.
Oof.
Oh, okay.
That's still not bad. That's still an 11.
Use all of the gas. Yeah. Use it all.
So, we'll just say this, that you might have used such instruments of knockout in your past, but you were never the one that actually dealt with the dosage. You just kind of were given a canister and told to hook it up. Like, you don't know how much to use, kind of a thing.
Is there like a storage like cabinet inside the like with these supplies inside the AV?
Yeah, again, since it is a MAXTAC AV, you are fully kitted out. You can pretty much grab not only any ammo you need, but anything that a MAXTAC would need to respond to almost any situation. Which, I guess I'll point out that technically includes a rocket launcher, if for whatever reason you wanted a rocket launcher.
Alright, yeah. Kane, you see Fairclough reaching in and then he's just loading up He keeps grabbing these gas canisters. Why does he have so many?
Where did he get them from?
Even you might be starting to realize maybe this isn't a good idea to use that much.
If we use a safe amount within the building's HVAC systems, and as soon as the gas starts pumping in, I penetrate into the net running room and try to take care of those 3. That should handle most of the civilians as well as the unidentified edge runners, which would just leave the turrets and Alejandro. If I take care of the net runner, the turrets would presumably become less of a problem. So what I'm thinking, and correct me if you have any suggestions or feedback, is we start pumping the gas through. As soon as the gas starts coming in, I'll enter the server room and attempt to take out Stepan and then his goons. As I do that, you come in from whatever angle you see fit and make a beeline for Alejandro. How's that sounding so far?
My concern would be if the gas might prompt the retaliation. Our priority here, if it is in fact to save as many lives as possible,
yes, what
we
is
need
our
we need
priority?
to go.
Is it
We need to be
company
going
data
straight.
or company assets?
I think Chief Drake is going to say, we care more about the hostages. I could give 2 flying shits about what actually happens to the data or Biotechnica's reputation. We have a mission to rescue those hostages first and foremost.
My thoughts exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking we save the gas for on a remote trigger, and you try and sneak in, get Hell into the system, so she can counteract whatever that Netrunner's doing, and then we'll go for. And when the time comes, I'm gonna be going straight for the hostages.
Understood. My only issue is that there are 3 guards in that room, and they're all positioned in such a way that taking them out one at a time would prove exceedingly difficult. So odds are they're going to raise the alarm as soon as I engage, unless we come up with something clever. I don't think whistling around a corner 3 times is going to work like in the movies, sadly.
Well, it's at this point that you guys are arriving on location, and I'm actually going to start removing some of the tokens from the map because, again, it wasn't a live camera feed. It was just a snapshot, so you don't have 100% confirmation where they are in the room or what their current location is. And this is just kind of how we're going to represent it on stream because Foundry is great and all, but dealing with Fog of War in a streamed environment is very annoying, all things considered. But yeah, sure. If I heard correctly, Kane, you're going to come in basically way down here.
Kane will actually, does Fairclaw have any spare tear gas of those gas grenades?
I mean, if we've got them in the AV, I'm sure he can spare one.
Yeah, you can definitely spare at least 1 or 2. Okay,
she'll take as many as he can spare, and yep, then she'll start heading down through the vents. It's up to Fairclough. We'll trust his tactical expertise on where he wants to make egress.
Okay. Just to be clear, this isn't the topmost floor before the roof, right?
Correct. This is the 24th floor. There are 3 floors above it.
Okay. Fairclough will be on standby in the AV, and when the time comes, he will basically he's gonna go through one of the fucking walls.
Through one of the walls with
here's
outside.
A wild possibility. How thick are the actual floors, like the ceilings between levels?
Let me check my notes because I actually did research this.
Because if you go Fairclough and stand right on top of one of these hostage rooms, you could theoretically just break through into that room directly.
I would say that punching through 3 floors from the roof.
No. He goes onto the floor above, the normal way, the old-fashioned way, and then he only has to go through 1 floor. I'm just seeing if it's possible. Yeah.
I would say that you'd basically have to get through heavy cover, which, if my notes are correct, you would have to do something like, quote-unquote, 30 HP of damage to punch through the floor.
Okay. Don't know if that's in your toolkit, Fairclough.
30 damage to get through the floor.
Yeah.
He could technically do it.
Yeah.
It'd take a good roll, but he could do it.
And they'd have warning, so it's up to you if you think that's worth it, or if just zooming in like the manual way is smarter.
Well, our AV has weaponry, doesn't it?
It does, to some extent. It doesn't have like a full-on Gatling gun, but it has some very basic defenses.
Oh, it's only like point defense stuff? Shit.
Yeah.
Alright.
We are the AA defense.
Exactly.
They're counting on the fact that the enemies will start shooting at us as soon as we're dropped off. Would it be reasonable that we have charges or something that I could use to basically bust open any of the walls here?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you 3 charges, which will take out a 2x2 section of any wall.
Okay.
Or is it 2x1? It's 2x1. Basically, 2 squares worth you can knock out of a wall.
Actually,
All right, then.
While you're planning this, could I go to the washing wheel quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Back 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, then. Here's Fairclough is going to think back to you know, on his NCPD history and the you know, and try and think to himself what kind of advantage can we gain for ourselves here? And you said we have 3 charges?
You have 3 breaching charges, correct?
Okay. Let's see here. Those doors probably don't stand a chance. So what I'm thinking is, if given that these aren't wherever the windows aren't, I want to plant charges on the. Let me get my pencil here. I want to plant a charge here. Or sorry, it's probably gonna be much smaller. So more like here, here, and here.
Okay, so 1 in the server room, 1 to the left, and then... Oh, I lost... Okay, that one there. Got it. Okay.
Now, the idea here is that 3 charges go off. They're going to panic and be like, oh, shit. But, you know, but they're not going to know which one Fairclough's actually going to enter through. So there's that.
Okay. I
hope they haven't decided to put the hostages in the hallways here. Or in the, I think, what is this back room here? If that's the case, then this is not ideal. I'll probably get written up for this, but I'm gunning on the fact they didn't move the hostages.
Yeah. Maybe the hostages will start moving once bullets start flying, but we'll just have to find out together, really.
Oh boy.
All right. So we'll give Kane a little bit here because he ran off to the restroom. But in the meantime, while we're waiting, chat. Let's do a quick. Let's do a little prediction. In fact, let me see if I can remember how to do them. Because predictions are always fun. Let's see what I can do. All right, so we are going to start, and the question will be: how many hostages will survive? All right, we're going to go with all of them. 50%, 25%. Oh, wait, I guess I should do 75% if I'm going by 25s here. All right, hold on. And for those who have no idea what I'm talking about, basically on Twitch, there's a channel point redeem or a expenditure where if you do a prediction, you can potentially earn buku amount of channel points here. All right, there we go. Prediction is live for you all to drop your channel points on. Right on time as well. Excellent.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right. I think I'm actually going to save my 3rd charge, and I'm going to do what Azu recommended, and I'm going to set down on the roof, and then I'm going to proceed to the floor. Oh, actually, they have Netrunner access, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Also,
okay, no,
you
I'm
have to be careful coming through the roof, because if you land on a hostage, it's not going to be pretty.
Oh, there won't be much to look at.
Yep.
Well, let's get this plan underway. So we're going to focus on you two arriving on the roof, or at least Kane, you're dropped off on the roof. Fairclough, you hop off and begin attaching the canisters of gas. And what I'm going to require from you is, where is it? I just had it. If you could give me a paramedic, I think is how I wanted to handle this. Because this is you judging the overall how much gas to use in this situation.
What you're saying is you're trying to give me a second chance so that Faircloud doesn't just like turn it to max.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm doing.
Given he failed on the tactics. Okay. What is paramedics under? That would be...
it's under technique skills, if I remember correctly.
Skills, okay. Got it. Okay. Oh boy.
Yep.
Nah.
Oh no!
Oh my.
Oh no!
So Fairclough, you hook up the first canister, you look at it and go, nah. You put a second canister, still, nah. Third, fourth. All right, we're getting somewhere, but we're not there yet. 5, 6.
Oh my god.
7 for good measure.
He's gonna hotbox this whole building.
So you put in 7, all things considered. Well, at the meantime...
all of them. All of them. I used all of them.
Literally all of them. Now, Kane, you thankfully are not privy to this information yet because you're getting into the server room access HVAC. Now, Kane, I am going to ask that you give me a contortionist, please, to represent you getting through the air ducts without making a whole lot of noise.
Could I go for a stealth instead?
I would give you the option to do stealth, but the DV would be higher.
I'll take it.
Okay.
So
surely, you know, you can't also roll another one. Surely.
Oh.
Okay, 23. All right. So you actually managed to get through the HVAC unit without making a whole lot of noise. And as you come to the round grating that separates the HVAC pipes to the rest of the server room, you look across the stacks of blinking lights and wiring and sort of net running stations, and you don't see anyone. In fact, you look, based on what you can see from your angle, you look to where you should be able to see Stefan and the other 2 edge runners that were with him. You don't see any sign that they were here. In fact, you're seeing no signs of anyone being in here in quite a long while.
Is IR vision picking up anything?
Roll me a perception, please.
Sure, let's put all my solo points into this one. Perception, what's that?
27. So your IR is having a little bit of issue given that the server stacks are putting off a lot of heat, but you are able to tell, as I reveal their locations now that they've moved, you are able to tell that there is a mook over here, kind of towards the far end of the server stack. There's also another mook close by on the other side of that same stack. And Stefan is actually over here towards the top of the room, between a few server stacks, smoking a cigarette.
Do these mooks down here seem to be like watching one of the doors, or are they just kind of patrolling?
I would say one of the mooks is looking at one of the entrances into the server room, but for the moment, none of them seem to be looking in your direction.
Okay.
And if you guys would give me just 1 moment real quick as I get up, because the cat is knocking things off the shelf. So just you guys can keep talking. I'll be able to mostly hear you, but just give me 1 moment here.
Yeah, go.
All right, Fairclough. How long do you think we have before your stratagem proves lethal?
Well, that's the thing. He's only gonna trigger it once he it's like, you know, it's appropriate. So if we get really lucky, maybe he won't deem it necessary to use it. But he's he was setting this up. Go on.
It's gonna be like sludge through the grates.
Oh man.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
I said it in the chat. I said it in the chat, but I think Fairclough, as he's setting this up, he's forgotten when he was setting up the gas. He forgot about the hostages. He was just thinking, we're gonna make these perpetrators squirm. You're gonna want to show them. They think they got like, oh, you got bionic lungs? Yeah, we'll try fucking dealing with this shit. I'm just gonna pile it on. Let's test out that that street grade cyberware, you damn punks.
Uh,
That's what's going through his mind when he set that up.
Oh, don't worry. There's going to be some funny rolls coming, but
Oh,
very
fuck.
exciting.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, but Kane, you see the 3 individuals, including Stefan, in the server room. Again, only one of them is actually looking at the entrance to the server room towards the western part of the room. But other than that, none of them are the wiser that you're sitting in the HVAC pipes.
Is Stepan hardwired in now? Does he have like a bed or a bath or anything?
He is currently through his wrist access is where he's currently connected to the server stack.
For netrunners, is wrist access any different from like? Oh yeah, the baths and the chairs are for like deep diving into the cybernet. Or
Yeah,
like,
usually if
cyberspace,
you're in
right?
an actual ice bath or you're in a full net running
Yeah.
suit, you're usually doing deep
Going
dives.
deep.
But
Long
for this,
distance.
yeah.
Okay. How many lights in this room?
Like actual illumination lights.
Yeah, they seem to be
I
all
would
over the
say-
place.
I'm just trying to do
Alright.
quick math in my head. I would say there's maybe about, we'll say 10.
10. Is there a light switch anywhere that King can see at least?
That you can see, no, but since we are looking at this map, I'll point at least 2 of them out. There's one next to the door here. Actually, it would help if I used the right tool. There's one next to the door here, and there's also a light switch next to the door over here.
Okay. Is Stepan, which direction is he facing while he smokes? Has he got his back up against the server, or is he facing the server?
He's got his back up against the wall, and
Okay.
he is facing out into the room.
Okay. If Kane was standing from like here, for instance, are these server racks like, if you went through the different servers, can you see all the way through, or are these like solid?
They're solid blocks.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah, that's
so-
usually why you're having trouble even with IRs, because,
Yeah.
again, they're putting off a lot of
Right.
heat.
Okay. So Kane's gonna get in touch with Fairclough. They've moved around a bit, but they're all accounted for.
Can you get Helen into the system?
That's a good question. Would she be able to get Helen to the system without taking Stepan out?
Potentially, there just would be a roll required.
Okay. I think if I get Helen, that might distract Stepan enough for me to take him out. I'm gonna try that. Good idea, Fairclough. All
She
right.
might also be able to give us information as to where everyone is moved.
She may. If shit goes down, I'll give you the signal.
Now, my question, and if this is too technical, we can make it simpler, but how are you going to be connecting Hel in? Are you going to be connecting her through one of the closer server stacks to the HVAC pipes? Are you going to go for the actual overhead wiring trenches where all the wiring is kind of fed up near the ceiling? Where are you going to link her in? I guess it's kind of not just for flavor, but also for DV purposes.
Are all of these... So it looks like I don't know if this map is accurate, but it looks like all these mainframes are connected, correct?
Correct. Yes, the map is about 90% accurate for our purposes.
Okay. So these ones closest to the HVAC are still, if you go down and around, are still technically connected to the ones Stepan's using, right?
Correct.
Okay. How about these ceiling wires? Do they seem to be feeding or going from anywhere to anywhere?
So if you follow the server wires, again, sort of the trenches above everything, they all do feed into, if you look carefully on the map, you see this, let's see if I can highlight it a little bit. You see this, these stacks right here, kind of these black stacks. Those are actual like routers and switches and other networking equipment that's allowing everything to crosstalk.
Everything between this server room and the rest of the building, you mean?
Everything within this floor.
Okay. So these mainframes presumably house some corporate data, but these routers actually control the connectivity of the electronics on this floor, is that correct?
You got it in one.
Okay. In that case, it might be more prudent to actually hook Hell up into the routers, and then she can disrupt the connections to the turrets and stuff like that, presumably.
Presumably, anyway. All right.
Okay. We'll give that a shot. So, after having given Fairclough her warning that she's going in, she's going
Alright.
to delicately twist open, whatever it takes, one of these panels and try to slip out.
All right. So I'm not going to have you do a roll required because I think you're competent enough to not just, punch through or drop a fan or anything. I think we're past that. I think we're good. But I will require you to roll me another stealth just to see if any of the mooks do catch note of you walking up to the routing equipment.
Okay. See here.
And of course, this I'll roll first, so you know what you're going against here. But they don't have the best perception in the world, so all you really have to do is beat a DV of 11, which I'm pretty sure you can do easily.
Crit fail. I think the solo anti-fumble thing only affects attack rolls, right?
I believe so, but I'd have to look to be sure.
Let me double check, because if it doesn't, I'm definitely going to use it, but I think it's only attacks.
Let's take a look. Let's see, roll abilities. Solo, page 146.
I'd assume it's attacks, otherwise they would literally just be better than everyone else.
Yeah, while attacking.
Yeah, while attacking.
Fails. Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, 20, you're fine. You can easily get to the routing equipment without anyone spotting you, or at least making signs that they've spotted you.
All right. So she'll get in there, just hugging kind of this corner between the server stacks and the wall, and then she's going to try to wire up with her little interface plugs.
Okay. Now I'm going to make a roll for Hell, our good old netrunner here, and we're just going to see how well they do. Let's see.
Okay. All right, Hell, don't let us down.
All right. So where did I put it? Here it is. So it's going to look like I'm rolling Cybertech, but this is actually her interface. So just so you guys know. Yeah, she's in easily.
Oh, nice.
So you hook up to the
big bonus.
Yeah, she's got a huge bonus. There's a reason she's in a MAXTAC team. There's a reason. But she hooks up, and after a moment, both you and Fairclough, you hear Hell say, "I'm in."
Hacker voice, I'm in.
I'm in. And she says, I have to be careful. I've masked my presence from your Stefan character, but I can either take him out or I can try to get you guys camera access so you can see a live view of the interior. Anything more than that, and I would risk setting off the alarms of the other netrunner.
Let's go live view. I can try to handle Stepan.
All right, then let's zoom out here so that you can see all the tokens moving around. All right, so the first one is you're going to see your Mook in reception now. You're going to see a Mook has moved just a little bit in the main room. Alejandro has moved into the office. And then we have a Mook that has moved into one of the exterior hallways. And then we also have a Mook that is moved into the bathroom, though, why there's a camera in the bathroom, I leave to your discretion and imagination.
It's corporate. It's fucking the corporations of 2077.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is your current live feed. You are seeing where everybody is at the moment. Now, when it comes to the hostages, and I'm going to add this little bit of flavor specifically, Alejandro is just being, very nice with the hostages, all things considered. He's not like pistol whipping them or shouting at them. He's just like, try to remain calm. We'll be out of your hair shortly. Just be, relax. We'll be out of your hair shortly. And then the gas that Fairclough hooked up begins to trickle in, and I get to make a bunch of rolls here. So
Wait. I think Fairclough, did you release it yet, or are you waiting for a signal?
I was. Was there a way that I could set it up so that I could remotely trigger it whenever, or did I have to basically, if I was going to use it, did I have to release it then and there?
I think it's based on the fact you rolled literally a 1.
I'm so sorry.
I think we're just gonna go with the dice here and say that it just happens, unfortunately.
All right.
But yeah, let me count here.
Yeah.
So that's 6 Edgerunner mooks, and there's no way they're passing this. There's no way. Actually, they got a decent resist torture drugs, maybe. All right. First
It'll
one,
get
no.
harder.
Second one, no. Third one, no. Fourth one,
wow.
yes.
Oh, wow.
Fifth one, no. Sixth one, no. All right. So.
Wait. I think the ones in this room are safe, right?
Yeah. So the last 2 are safe. But here's what happens. So every single mook, except for the one in the bathroom, is immediately going to drop like a light. So I'm just going to remove him. Well, maybe not remove him from the map. Maybe I can rotate him a little bit. How do I rotate him? I know there's a way to do it. Hold on.
I think you hold control and then mouse wheel.
Is it control?
Yeah.
No, maybe it's alt. Hold on. No. Well, it might help if I was on the right tool.
You might have to mouse over the token for it to work.
Let's see. Aha, there it is. Thank you. It is control and scroll. All right, so these guys are all knocked out. And then Alejandro, how do you do, buddy? Survey set. Got a chance, all things considered. Not an amazing chance, but a chance all the same. He actually does. He actually is fine. I'm not going to roll for the hostages. The hostages are quite literally just going to all collapse instantly. But Alejandro, as all this is happening, he's going to kind of look at the fainting hostages, and you're going to see he gets a very worried expression on his face as he quickly, puts a finger to his ear and go, reporting I've got hostages and looks like gas rolling in. Anybody have eyes? Are we being breached? Anyone at all? And it is at this point that we are going to move into initiative order, but we're not necessarily in combat per se, but we do need to have a chain of events, if you're following me.
Yeah.
So Fair Clown Kane, if you could both roll your initiative.
All right, let me put my solo points put some into fumble recovery and the rest into initiative.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember where initiative was again.
There's two ways you can do it. You can either do it on your sheet, or if you go to kind of the fist icon that is the combat tracker, you should be able to click the D20 next to your name in the encounter, and that should automatically roll for you.
Oh my, what just happened?
Well, you rolled, and you're now in initiative order, so you're good there.
But,
all right.
So I don't think that automatically adds my my +4.
No, so we actually have to modify you to a 22.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah, I will allot my combat awareness points now.
All right, how many points did you want to put in, Fairclough?
I'm putting my points into spot weakness.
All right. In that case, Kane, you are going to be up first here. Now, thanks to the fact that you have live camera feeds, you do know that Alejandro has just asked what the fuck is going on. But you are, again, in initiative order, so treat it like you only have a certain number of actions here.
Okay. I think Kane is, if she uses a run action to run up to this light switch and then rip it off, basically turn it off and rip it out the wall, is that like a full action?
I would say it would be a full action, yeah.
Okay. Just to turn it off, would that also be a full action, or is just switching it just to...
I would say that toggling a switch is a trivial action. I don't think it would actually take like your minor or anything.
Yeah. Okay. They're still a little bit confused, so I don't think Kane's gonna risk contact just yet. She's gonna... Let's see, what actions can we take that don't straight up... Let me double check what the... Do we know what the page is with all the different action types?
Yeah, one moment. I have it here in my notes. I believe it is page 168.
168. Oh, there we go. Okay. Up, grab, hold action. Stabilize, throw. All right. Okay. Kane has those grenades. Those gas grenades. So she's gonna run over here. And then she's gonna toss a grenade right over to Stepan.
All right. Now, to be clear here, when we're talking smoke grenades, are we talking literal smoke? Are we talking tear gas? Or are we talking sleep?
I assumed this was sleep because she bored some from what Fairclough was planning to load in. Would she have the choice, though?
I would say that you would have a choice between tear gas and sleep in this instance, unless you really wanted smoke for some reason.
No. Let's see. Where are the tier? What's the difference? I'm trying to...
Page 346 is where the grenades, or at least are
Okay.
put out, and then it's 346, 347 between sleep, smoke, and tear gas.
Okay. Anyone with need ice up air attack? Okay, so that's that one they pass out. Okay.
If I remember correctly, yeah, here it is. Sleep is the one they pass out. Tear gas is it gives them the damaged eye, critical injury, but doesn't actually do damage. And then smoke is just smoke.
Damaged eye, critical injury. What is that one? 2 range checks and perception checks involving vision. She'll go for sleep grenades.
Okay.
How far can you throw those?
I believe it is limited to your
body?
strength, but let's find. Or is it your body? Yeah.
Is it your body? Let's see.
Let's see.
I think it's body times 2, whatever the movement is. I think yards, but each square is typically 2 yards. So it's basically you throw out your tile length and body.
Right. Oh, it's up to a maximum of 25 meters per yard. So using the grenade launcher DV entry.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. And I think they have a range of what, 10 meters?
Let's see, in a 10 by 10, yep. Or for sake of argument, it's a 5 by 5 if we're going by the squares.
Okay, 5 by 5. Gotta choose between the 2 mooks and the netrunner, but I think the netrunners are priority here.
I'm sorry about that. How do I get rid of these?
I think
you can go
Control Z to get rid of them.
And if not, you can go into the same thing you used to create them, then mouse over and just hit the delete button. So this is like ruler circle. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
That was by accident.
Okay, she can move one more up, I think. Wait, can she? She was here. Okay, no. Alright, let's toss that grenade. Sleep grenade. 25 meters right into Stepan's corner if you can. That's an athletics.
Don't roll a 1. Just don't roll a 1.
Well, even if I roll a 1, I have fumble resist on attacks.
This is true.
So, let's see. I think it's just a normal athletics check to beat some sort of DV.
Yeah, I got a range chart here.
You got the. Okay, perfect. Nice. And let's put. Let's hold on to our luck for now.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you can throw it right into Stefan's face if you really want to.
Yeah, I gotta wipe down his coat.
In fact, since you crit so well, I'm actually going to give him a negative to his resist. So let's see, this is a DV, what is this, 13 resist torture and drugs, now a DV 15. Yeah, all right, well, Stefan, let's see how you do there, buddy.
Got?
I mean, he's got decent, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. No, in fact, all right, so here's what happens. You pull out your grenade, you plant it in the middle of his nose, and there's just a sickening clonk as he is knocked out instantly from the impact and the ensuing gas. So Stefan is now unconscious on the floor.
All right.
All right.
I'm to party, Fairclough.
All right, so yeah, Fairclough, you are up next, buddy.
Netrunner's down.
It's kicking off.
Yep.
All right. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Fairclough is on the western side of the map.
Okay.
So the room's just south of the bathrooms there.
Okay.
He is going to set off his charge first.
Okay.
And then he's going to set, and then immediately, just moments after that, just so it settles in, like, oh shit, there was an explosion. He's gonna set off the other explosion at the north side of the building.
Okay. So, Kane, you're gonna experience what sounds like muffled thumps and a slight shudder in the floor as the 2 explosions go off, one right after one another. Fairclough, you now have entrance through those 2 red marked areas, but which one are you actually going through?
This one.
Okay, the western one. All right. So as you dynamic entry through the created hole in the wall, you basically come into what looks like some form of a training room or some form of a work area that you would find at like a hotel, where there's just basically a bunch of desks with freestanding computers. The door to the hostage room is open, and you can see inside Fairclough that all the hostages are just collapsed on the ground. Some of them are barely moving. And what I mean is, like, their chests are barely moving. All of them are, like, dead still, including the fallen mook in there as well.
Okay. Shit.
Do we have
Is
an
there anyone on who all is on the AV? Is there anyone who can?
It was just you and Kane.
Okay then. How many can Faircloud pull out of this?
has-
Or
Maybe.
actually,
Have they
Okay,
called
yeah, no,
trauma
go on.
team? These are corpos, right?
They are corpos, yes.
Does anyone have trauma team?
It's a good question. Would you like to check and see if they have trauma team?
Something for
I'm
Faircloud.
I'm sure Trauma Team's already aware of what's going on.
Okay, well, let's, if you want to actually make it a roll, I would just say that this is probably just a basic perception, but if you just want to assume that they're on the way, we can do that too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just personally, I would assume. I think Faircow would as well.
Unless someone
in the
interfered.
situation.
I know in 2077 they yanked out that intro quest. They corrupted her trauma team link.
Yep. And
So
I
it might
won't
be
say
something
anything
worth
more,
checking.
but it's a good thing you brought up that quest because it has implications. Yeah. Anything you'd like to do, Faircloud, now that you see the hostages and the mooks passed out?
How many people can I drag out into the AV?
I would say that you are a beefy boy, all things considered. You could probably get 4 hostages in one go.
Yeah, all right. Faircloud is going to oh, this is actually all right. I've got an idea. So Faircloud's got he's got the grapple hand, right?
Yep.
So he's going to kind of make a little bundle of them with their legs, and he's going to basically bundle them up around with the cable from that, and basically use that to drag a whole bunch of them at once. Can he get any more than aside from 4?
I'll let you take 6.
Okay, yeah, and he's going to. Oh no, he's gonna. He starts to go through the doorway, and he's realizing, man, I barely fit through this doorway. How are these people gonna fit through? And that's when he takes his arm and just smashes the doorway and makes it like twice as wide almost, and proceeds to pull them through and towards the AV.
All right. So for sake of argument, I'm going to remove 6 hostages from the map because they have been safely rescued. All right, so they have been removed. So that's going to be your turn, Faircloud. So next, we're going to go to, let me see. Well, they're all out. Well, I guess technically the mook in the bathroom's okay. So the mook in the bathroom's
He's
going
shitting himself.
Well, he's going to come out with a bit of toilet paper on his shoe, and he's going to look around and go, what the hell is going? And he's going to make his own resist torture and drugs because, you know, he walked out into it again. I'm sure he's probably going to go out like a light, but you never know. Yeah, he literally gets to the bathroom and says, what the hell's going? And then faceplant right onto the floor. He is out. Which
Surprised he could even speak.
Yeah. Which is just going to leave Alejandro. So Alejandro is going to not get a reply from anyone because Hell is also jamming their comms. Good job, Hell. So Alejandro's actually going to go over to the executive, the guy who looks like he's actually in charge from Biotechnica, Gordon Tao. He's going to pick up Gordon Tao, and he is actually going to start moving through the security room to the north of the office. And that's going to be his turn. Let me see. Up next is the 2 mooks that are in the server room with Kane. So they are going to be like, well, what the hell? Stefan's down. And they're going to start combing the room looking for you. So I think he is going to be this. Come on. Oh, right. I'm not on the GM screen. That's why. This mook's going to move up to here. I think he is. Yeah, he's got line of sight on you. This one isn't going to have line of sight on you. So the one that is going to see you, Kane, is going to be like, wait, who the hell are... You know what? It doesn't matter. Open fire. She's behind the stack over there. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be fine here, Kane. But you never know.
out.
And remember, you can roll evasion if
I'll
I
roll
do, for
evasion.
some reason,
I'll roll
actually
evasion.
manage to hit
Yeah.
you.
Always.
I mean, there is a chance. I mean, technically that will hit you.
All right, let's try an evasion. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
you can Matrix dodge it if you want. That's how.
Hell yeah.
All right, so you Matrix dodge it, and the Mook just looks down at his assault rifle, looks at you, looks at Stefan, and says, just throws his gun on the ground and go, I'm good. You know what? I'm good. They aren't paying me. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. The other Mook just kind of looks around and goes, what the hell are you doing? She just fucking Matrix dodged everything. Wait, really? Yeah, man. Fuck, I'm out. You know, I don't know who the hell you are, but you're good. You know what? Throws his weapon down too.
All right.
So, yeah, we start back at the top of the initiative order. Kane, it is technically your turn.
All right. She is going to... I think Stepan's out for 1 minute. Unless someone uses their action to move him. Let's see. She can only move 10 anyways. Damn, movement is slower in this game than I remembered it being.
It is, yeah.
Okay. These two have tossed down their weapons, so she's gonna run over to... Let's see if she tried to go straight for the door. Okay, yeah, she'll just head over to Stepan. I don't know if he has cuffs on hand.
I would say that you would have some form of restraint that you could slap on him.
Yeah. So she'll run over there and slap some restraints on Stepan.
All right, Faircloud, we're going to go to you next. Faircloud, do you want to go get the remaining hostages, or do you want to go after Alejandro is the real question here.
Ooh, okay. So I'm aware that Alejandro is on the move.
Correct, yes. The good news is that since Hell is in the system, you have full access to everything on the map.
Okay.
I think, man, those hostages are not in a good place. The sooner we get them out of this gas, the better.
Yeah. All right. I think I've got a bit of an idea for Faircloud. If I get into engagement though, I don't know how long that's going to last. We need to stop this guy. Okay. Faircloud is going to take this door here.
Okay.
Into the lobby. I'm hoping that these fucking turrets are down. Would Hell have told us? Oh no, that's right. She was only in for a moment, so no.
I actually didn't roll for her. She had a turn last time. Let me just go ahead and give her another roll here.
Well,
yeah, turrets are down. Turrets are down.
Okay, that's good because Kane just moved, so she's likely not in the system anymore. Unless that was enough to.
It was enough, you know. She got a line in. She's good.
Okay then, good. All right. All right then. Faircloud's going to move to this door, assuming he can get through it just fine enough.
Kool-Aid Man, you make it through no problem.
All right, and he's going to move to cut this guy off. How much further can he get? Do I need a run action?
What is your movement?
His movement is 15.
Then
so I moved.
Let me see.
1, 2, or assuming I'm just pushed past these desks because it's Faircloud.
Right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 to there.
Right. So yeah, you have technically another. What is that? 9.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So basically, could I get through this door here?
Yeah, easily enough. Again, you are just almost juggernauting through walls and desks and everything else.
All right. And he is going to burst through the door here, presumably cinematically, at the same time if he...
at the same time as Alejandro comes out. Yeah, we're on the same page here. So Alejandro literally, comes out of the door at the same time you're busting through your end. And he's kind of got the special hostage, not in a chokehold, but just in kind of like a fireman's carry of some sort. And when he sees you come through that wall, he kind of looks you up and down, blinks a few times, and says, well, hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Oh,
hello there.
General Kenobi.
But no, he looks at you and goes, if I promise to put this one down, will you not shoot me in the face?
Let me think. Yeah, Fairclau's got his grenade launcher on his shoulder, pointing at him, and he's gonna have his arm forward with his machine gun aimed at him. And Fairclough is gonna say, he's gonna say, "Well, we'll just have to find out." Go on, put him down.
Yeah, Alejandro very slowly puts the hostage down.
Oh.
And then stands back up. And
Actually,
holds...
I got a... Sorry, is my net dropping out?
You did it for a little bit, yeah. You back
Okay,
in?
I actually had something else in mind. So his arms are full.
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, Fairclough's actually going to I'm actually going to change my mind here. Fairclough's actually going to say the contrary. Keep your hands right there. And move over to that. Move over to the hole in the wall there. And Fairclough's going to call the pilot around to that one right there.
Yeah. So you go around, and Alejandro is going to drop off the special hostage with your driver, Casanova. And yeah, at this point, you guys have stumbled onto a correct solution, which involved copious amounts of knockout gas. There are going to be consequences for how much you use, but that'll happen in a little bit. But yeah, overall, well done. You've handled the hostage situation quite well. When we come back, unless you really want to kill Alejandro or any of the mooks or anything like that, we're actually going to do a little bit of an interrogation scene.
Oh,
so
exciting.
do look forward to that.
Right.
But
Nice.
we are going to take our 5 to 2 minute break here, so we'll be back shortly, everybody. Stick
See you
around.
soon.
All right, and welcome back to part 2 of session 3 of Cyberpunk Red Specters, where the players have actually just successfully navigated a hostage situation to almost 100% completion. And what I mean by that is, as we fly across Night City away from Biotechnica Hotel back to MAXTAC Station, we kind of go in through one of the windows of the station, where on one of the lobby room TVs we see a report from Night City News, and the newscaster is saying something along the lines of, "In other news, it seems that a gas leak at Biotechnica Hotel has caused a massive number of Trauma Team contracts to be sprung at once. Trauma Team has been flying around the hotel taking out fallen individuals around the clock. There has been no official statement from the city where this gas leak came from, but at the moment I am being told that almost everyone is expected to make a full recovery. Only about 10 individuals are expected to slip into a coma and perhaps suffer greater effects." In other news, and as we move away from the television, we go back into the further depths of MaxTech offices, where we actually enter into an interrogation room. And it is the most stereotypical interrogation room out there, where you've got a table with 2 chairs. On one of the walls, there's that one-way mirror. On the other side of that one-way mirror is where Fairclough and Miss Gray, the media, are currently located. In the actual interrogation room proper are Kane and Alejandro. So, Kane, as you walk in, take a seat, or whatever it is you do once you're in the room, you kind of get a weird look from Alejandro, and he's like, "I know you from somewhere, but can't really put my finger on it. Where do I know you from?"
It's a common model. You see them all over the place.
"No, there's something about you." And he kind of squints his eyes and leans in a little bit.
Give him a
"Oh,
little
hell, are
smile.
you... Is that you, Kane?"
Nice to see you, Alejandro.
"Well, shit, I never expected it would be you bringing me in. Wow, this is new. I gotta admit, this is a new sensation."
Sure is. It was quite the surprise when I saw you on those feeds.
I imagine it's the same level of surprise I'm experiencing now. I'm not gonna operate under I know you're probably gonna throw the book at me, but it's good seeing you.
And you too. I've tried to distance myself from my old life, but if an opportunity like this throws itself into my lap, I'm loath to ignore it. How is the rest of the team? I've seen Stepan.
Well, I'm
Said
sure if
hello.
you have me, you have Stefan. You remember Pierre, right? The techie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she kind of ate dirt about a couple months ago. Apparently the Voodoo Boys really wanted to make sure that she was reminded where she came from, if you get my meaning. Then you remember Rashid? You remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he apparently got his hands on some fancy car and just started heading east out of the city. No idea where he is.
It was probably smart of him. Can you tell if Alejandro's being straight with her right now?
Human
This is-
perception.
Oh boy, I'm really good at that. Did she get any sort of bonus because she knew this guy?
I'll give you a +2.
Probably.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you're good. He's telling the truth.
Okay. Well, unfortunate to hear about Pierre, but I suppose that's what we all signed up for.
It's what everybody signs up for living in Night City.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna have to go through, the standard questions. Who is your? I'm assuming you work through a fixer for this job.
I did, yeah. And you can see he's starting to hesitate. You're not gonna like who it was from.
Hit me.
And he steals himself as if he's about to drop a huge bombshell. And Miss Gray on the other side of the glass goes, Fairclough, either he is about to jump out of his chair or he is about to be punched in the face, so be ready. But Alejandro, after he's done wincing, says, it's Delphine Roy. She's the one that hired us.
I thought you were gonna say that. I hoped you wouldn't.
Yeah. Are you gonna punch me?
No. I'm not
Okay,
gonna
good. And he relaxes a little bit.
Disappointing.
punch you. And did my mother go through a fixer?
No, she actually contacted us directly.
Was there any reason she contacted you in particular, or is that a happy coincidence?
I think you're gonna either need to give me some form of interrogation or persuasion or just something to represent you trying to get on his good side here.
I think she's equal with interrogation and persuasion, so she'll use the persuasion.
Okay.
And again, is there any bonus to knowing this guy going way back?
I'll give you another +2.
Perfect.
25, more than sufficient. You can tell that not only is he now not trying to be punched, he is now doing his best to not just ramble on, but as he answers your question, he says, well, she said that she was interested in meeting you again. And while we were in there making a whole scene, she was expecting to get back at your father, which is, yeah, this is a large shit show.
Does she think I'm dead?
No, actually, she was very much expecting that you would show up in some form of MAXTAC response. I don't think she knows that you're any motions up and down at you, but I do think that she knows you're at MAXTAC now.
That's strange. Did she say why she wanted to find me? Was it for money?
Couldn't tell you, to be honest.
So, Gordon Tao was specifically targeted as a sort of revenge plot, but you guys were just hanging around. Was that just to lure in MAXTAC?
Got it in one.
That explains all the EMP weaponry. Where's my mother?
I can't really say. And not because I don't want to, but because we communicated through a series of dead drops. I can tell you where the next dead drop was supposed to be, but whether or not something's there, someone would have to go there to find out.
Were you supposed to capture Gordon in the case of an emergency, or was he just a happy coincidence?
I was told, and again, you see he's hesitating. If things started going south, our instructions were to, and I quote, throw Gordon out a window.
Of course. Well, since it seems this next dead drop is our only avenue of approach for now, if you'll send that my way, that would be wonderful.
His eyes illuminate blue as Kane, you get it, and by extension, Miss Gray and Fairclough get the same information, and Miss Gray is already typing in at the terminal trying to figure out where this location is. And she gets it in almost about 15 seconds and turns to Fairclough and goes, yeah, looks like this dead drop is actually... What the hell?
Neil kind of lean over.
Yeah, and you look at the screen, and sure enough, the dead drop is in the alleyway on the opposite side of the street from the MAXTAC building. I mean, you're seeing this too, right, Fairclough?
Yes, I am.
That can't be a coincidence.
I don't think so either.
Meanwhile, as we shift back in to the actual interrogation room, so Alejandro kind of leans back in the chair and goes, so, yeah, I think that's almost everything I can tell you.
Well, if that's the case, and she'll glance. Out of curiosity, can
Yes.
IR vision see through this one-way glass, or is it?
Yeah, you can see them easily with your IR vision, yeah.
She'll glance over there, and just over radios. Is there anything else we need to know?
Did you... I don't think so.
How long ago did my mother contact you, and how much was she willing to pay?
Well, first contact from her came in about a week ago, and let's just say she was paying enough per person to put us all in bodies like yours.
You're telling me my mother found money?
Quite a bit of it, apparently.
Did she show it to you first, or was this an elaborate way to con you like she cons everybody else?
And you kind of see that he starts to say something and then stops and kind of thinks to himself. I mean, she did show us an account with money in it. I never stopped to think that it might not have been hers.
Well, that would be my mother. Either way, worst case, we saved you from an unfortunate investment. I'm still, of course, going to have to throw the book at you, but you played nice, so I think the courts are going to keep that in consideration. And aside from a few comas from a over-excitable, perhaps maybe they should have kept their carbon monoxide detectors a little more up to date, so you might be able to get off easy. We'll see.
And he kind of nods and says, all right. And he just motions at his wrists, which again are kind of handcuffed to the table, as they usually are.
Well, you want me to uncuff you right now, Alejandro?
How else am I going to get out of the room?
I suppose.
He could just break them if he wanted to. Fairclough's going to remark over the comms.
And Alejandro just looks around and goes, all right, I guess that would be your metallic partner. I mean, yeah, I probably could just break these easy, but, I'm trying to play nice.
Well, we could fight for old time's sake. And she'll just unhook the handcuffs.
He kind of does that stereotypical thing where he kind of rubs his wrists, even if he didn't feel it to begin with, and he goes, yeah, I'm going to take a rain check on that one. I really don't feel like getting punched today.
Maybe next time.
Yeah. And as you walk him out, we quickly go back to Gray and Fairclough. Miss Gray says, so Fairclough, do you think, should I just send a runner to get the dead drop? Do you want to go yourself, or...?
Hmm.
Is this just between them, or is this on the radio?
This is enough that you're clued in as well.
Okay. Be careful. It's a non-zero possibility. It's a mail bomb.
Ha. I doubt it could. I'd like to see them try to damage my frame. I'll go get it. Yeah, before he was thinking on the runner, but now that you mentioned that there might be a bomb, he's gonna go get it. Yeah.
All right. So we'll handle that just very briefly. So Fairclough, as Kane is getting Stefan situated, what's going to happen is you go down the stairs, cross the street, and you go to where the supposed dead drop is. Basically a trash can in an alleyway, totally inconspicuous. Like, no one would ever care that there's a trash can in an alleyway. But you lift open the lid, and you see two things. The first is that there is, on the underside of the trash can lid, there is a data shard that has been taped to it. The other thing that you notice as you look into the trash can itself is there is a bomb. But not the bomb you were expecting and joking about. It is a glitter bomb, and there's nothing you can do to stop the cascade of glitter that shoots into your face at this moment.
You will never get rid of that, Fairclough. For the rest of this campaign, you're going to have glitter falling off your faces.
And the sticker on the back of his head too. Come on, you're making a street mural out of it. What the hell?
So yeah, narratively, trash can lid open. Poof. Oh.
Son of a bitch. And does he have like these little, I imagine he has little like air jets to like clear debris off of his optics. He's gonna activate them and they're gonna go.
I like the idea of a little windshield wiper.
Maybe both. Maybe windshield wiper and air jets.
Alright, cool.
Does it get off his eye? Or...
It does, yeah.
Okay. But it's still obviously there's glitter all over his faceplate. Or all over him. Not just his face, but all of him.
All of you.
Oh boy. Good luck leaving that one down.
You know, this is in a way this is worse.
Yeah. Very important question. Do you slot the shard or do you wait to get back inside to slot it?
Yeah, he's gonna take the shard back to HQ. He's not gonna just put a shard he found literally in an street alley trash can into his head.
Excellent. You are doing very well compared to a certain 2077 protagonist who just literally slots everything and everything.
Ooh, experimental biochip, huh?
Oh yeah, let's just put that in there. All right, so Fairclough, you're doing that. We'll go back to Kane. Kane, did you want to run Stefan through the ringer, or do we want to just narratively say that he goes to interrogation, or like, how do you want to handle it?
Oh, we've already been through interrogation, and she does have some fond memories, so she's going to try to say he's given us what he knows. No need to be extra harsh on him. He played nice.
All right. Fair enough. Then, yeah. When you come back in, Fairclough, I think as you all are, in the offices, I think as you're walking down the hallway, Hel kind of pokes her head out of her room and she sees you, Fairclough, and goes, "What the hell?" Okay, I'm trying really hard not to laugh, but you're making it really hard.
You're telling me that you didn't see me on the cameras already. You're putting on a spectacle. You already saw what had happened to me. Quit playing pretend.
I mean, could be worse.
Kane, when seeing Fairclough, is going to exhale sharply through her nose and say, "I suppose I should have told you what sort of bomb to expect, huh?"
What do you mean, what kind of bomb to expect?
Gives him a little smile. Don't worry, it'll come out eventually.
That much glitter? No way. He's going to be like that for the next 20 years.
She's placating him. Find our data, though? Any sort of love you card?
He's going to reach out his hand and just holding it this little chip between his two giant metallic fingers. He'll drop it into her hand.
Nice.
Into Hel's hand or into Kane's hand?
Into Hel's hand, I guess, because it makes sense to give it to Hel.
Have her check it.
So Hel kind of inspects it for a moment and says, all right, well, step into my lab. Let's see what we can get off this thing. And she kind of gets into her Netrunner chair, which she's got wired up to have multiple proxies just in case there's an actual like virus or something with the shard. And she hooks line into the back of her neck and motions for you all to take a seat or stand, whatever you prefer to do. And she slots the shard into one of the dummy terminals, or basically that air gap, just in case it's needed. And her eyes flash blue, and she says, all right, well, first impression, this is... Okay, sorry, there's just a lot here. You have history with this woman, right, Kane?
Well, something like that.
Well, to put it very succinctly, this is a ransom note.
Who's it addressed to?
Well, it's addressed to Kane specifically.
Typical. What's being put up for ransom?
Well, that's the tricky part. You all are aware of Biotechnica Flats, right? Those, like, huge array of greenhouses that supplies food to most of Night City. Like, you know those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, if you don't acquiesce to her demand, she's going to contaminate all of Biotechnica Flats with a neuralizing agent.
My mother is going to do this.
That's what the note says, yeah.
Oh, wow. I thought she was dead. Turns out she just went a little bit... What's her demand?
Well, that's the other tricky part. She wants you to do a job for her.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be kidding me.
What's the job?
Well, and at this, she actually just sort of reaches over and pulls over a screen and then points at it. You see a schematic of a building, and it is Biotechnica HQ. And it shows kind of a view of the HQ as it goes into the architecture, and a glowing line traces through the corridors and whatnot. And it ends up going to a server block somewhere in the basement. She says, apparently your mother wants you to steal something on this server here, some form of data. I'm not sure. She just says that it's in data block 0x15.
I see.
Fairclow's gonna look over the Kane. He's gonna say, "You're not seriously considering this, are you?"
Fairclough, look at me. Do you think MAXTAC would let me step 1 foot in Biotechnica HQ if I had any intention of stealing data? My mother seems to have gone a bit senile because I don't work for myself anymore. I am a good dog who has a tight leash and does as she's told. Is there anything else in this ransom note, rambling as it may be?
I mean, it does ramble after that. Something about how she made a mistake when she made... In fact, it's very... I'm not going to repeat it.
I've heard it before, don't worry.
Yeah, she doesn't have a very high opinion of you.
No.
Fairclough is going to raise his hand and go, oh, hell. Did she also say she's going to leak Kane's baby pictures onto the net?
No, but I'm sure we could ask her. I mean, I can start trying to track this woman down, but she did her homework. Not a whole lot of identifiers here. Not a lot of camera. Like, I've checked the camera feeds. There's no leads at the moment where this Delphine Roy could be.
How did my mother go from a 2-bit incompetent con woman to a big league, I don't know what to call her, a terrorist, a criminal?
I think terrorist is probably a good word to use.
How big are Biotechnica's, what did you mention they were? Food production facilities?
Yeah, so out of character, so we're on the same page. Yeah, in 2077, there is quite literally like the southwestern part of the city is just greenhouse after greenhouse after greenhouse. That is where if I'm remembering the figure correctly, in fact, I'll just say most rather than quote a percentage, but most quote unquote meat products are coming from those greenhouses. And it doesn't matter whether or not you get the meat from Haywood or if you get it from somewhere in Westbrook or maybe in Kabuki. Meat in general is all coming from these farms.
So lots of clone meat.
Yes.
Is there anything in particular that Kane would know that really pisses this woman off? Is there anything she can't stand?
Good question.
Probably being stood up to by her own daughter.
That too, yeah. I would say yes, there is one thing that you recall hearing about your mother. Now, you never witnessed it yourself, but apparently the worst way, or perhaps the best way, I should say, the best way to piss her off is to make her feel powerless.
Gotcha. How can we strip the powers from a ghost?
Sorry,
Let's
run that
see.
by me again.
Oh, she's talking to herself. How can we make a ghost feel powerless? She's been very clean with this so far.
So our only lead is, or we don't even necessarily have any leads here from this point, other than we know that she's making a threat and a demand.
Yeah, I don't think we know anything like where she is, what's her status.
Is there a way that Fairclow's gonna say, is there a way we could stage this, make it seem like Kane goes through with it?
I don't see why not. We'd have to get approval, of course, most likely from MAXTAC and Biotechnica if we were to stage a false... It might be in their best interest. If we can avoid a mass poisoning, that would not look good for Biotechnica, so they might just let us in. So they might just let us take some fake data. It would be all over the news. I don't know. I'm not a corpo, but if I was them, I'd take a false security breach over a mass poisoning event.
I mean, it's not much for it's not usually very often that the corporations give a damn about what happens to the people of this city.
Right, but it comes back to them.
That is all of their assets, almost all of their assets.
And is this food, LH, is this like meant for, is this general mass produced meat, or is this like kind of meant for kind of the Biotechnica firm and its employees?
Mass production.
Okay, gotcha.
It makes up a staple of the city's food supply.
Yep.
I imagine. So without it, people would probably starve.
Or at least they wouldn't have meat.
And
again, meat in quotation, but yes.
Oh, yeah. Yes, meat. Soylent Blue.
Yeah. This could potentially mean riots spilling over out of the combat zones even. It could get really ugly.
It could. We have an expert on hand. Let's run this by Miss Gray and see what her thoughts on it are.
You hop over to Miss Gray's office, and Miss Gray kind of looks at the data as you present it, and she runs it by her feeds and her databases, and she says, well, it is, I presume, plausible that you could poison most of the city by contaminating the food supply, but my question is, if this is a legitimate threat, and until we learn otherwise, I guess we have to treat it like one, where is she getting the chemicals from, and what chemicals? How is she delivering the chemicals? There's a lot here we don't know.
She is a con woman, so it's entirely possible this is entirely false. But up till this point, she has effectively hired a clandestine edge runner team to hold a Biotechnica office hostage She has managed to very cleanly cover her tracks such that our local expert netrunner wasn't able to find any trace of her or her presence. So, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to ignore this and let her wallow away, we do have to treat it as a credible threat until we can prove it isn't.
Well, for my part, I will keep an ear to all the media feeds I can stomach in one sitting, and the moment I hear anything, you two will be the first to know.
Mm-hmm. But did she mention it was, what did she say, like neurotoxin or something in the food? It was a specific type of... Or was it just a general poison the well? Poison the well
in general, yeah.
Okay. Mm.
Also, Fairclough, why are you covered in glitter?
What were her plans for you actually following through on this operation she put in play for you? So let's say that you did actually get into Biotechnica HQ and got that bit of data that she wanted. What does it tell you to do next?
She would most likely, from what we've seen so far, dead job us for further information, but I don't think Hell mentioned there was any sort of follow-up like, okay, this is what you do with the data, right?
Correct. The instructions stopped right after telling you to get the data.
So presumably, like any good agent of the shadows, she would get in touch. However, I am curious. My mother was a notorious con woman, made a lot of enemies, and in Night City, enemies don't forget. So, either they still have her on the books, she's been missing, 10, 15 years, 20 perhaps. I don't have a very good memory for this sort of thing. But I'd say we get in touch with a few of her old debtors and see if they have any information on her either being in the city or if she's cleared her debts. That might be a good place to start.
And with that, we can make this a two-parter. That way we can prepare well for next week. But yeah, what did you guys think? I thought that was a very nice session. You guys, of course, handled the hostage situation much better than I was expecting.
If a little overzealously, but hey, you know what?
What's making Trauma Team run themselves ragged? You know, that's a
really.
Trauma Team problem.
They're getting paid.
I mean, it's the year 2077. I'm sure comas aren't that bad as they used to be, right?
I'm sure there's worse ways to go in Night City.
I mean, that's
boy,
true.
Do you think that warrants a humanity loss from Fairclough if he's heard about this? I think that would.
I mean, if anybody died, I would have said yes, but I think if anything, you're just like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't handle the gas next time.
I mean, I don't know, coma's pretty serious.
Do we have any? I think, oh yeah, Tubes would be our resident kind of medical expert, right?
Yep.
Guess next time we're about to dump the gas, we should probably ask, give a call and say, like, how much is too much?
Yeah, how much should we include?
Yeah. We do have
I'll have something for Tubes next time just so we can make a snide comment here and there.
Perfect.
I'm former NCPD. I know what I'm doing.
All right. Well, Twitch, stick around because we're going to raid somebody, but YouTube, we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye,
See you guys later. Have a good one. Thanks so much, ELH, for running.
Yep.